Hi, welcome to Jesus RX. It's the best pharmacy I've ever worked at. My name is Eva Popek, and I was a pharmacist for over 23 years. I loved helping people with medication management. There seemed to be a medication for every need. But was there? What about a person's deepest need? Can that be found at the pharmacy? Welcome back to the Jesus RX Prescription for Life podcast. I am covering the prescription for speech. We did days 1 through 5, and now we'll be doing days 5 through 10. In the book, Jesus RX Prescription for Life workbook, there are some matching going on days 6 through 8. So if you don't have the book, I'll go over this, just the verses with you, not the matching statements. Those are for you to complete so that hopefully it'll stay in your mind a little bit better. So I'll go over these, and then if you're interested, and you really should probably get this book, because I think we all need help with the way we talk, the way we speak to people, the way we speak to ourselves. So you can order that book if you go to Eva Popek Jesus RX at gmail.com and send me an email. I will set some aside for you because they are being republished with new covers and backs. I'm really excited. And so just go ahead and get that in, and then they should be available again on Amazon shortly. So I do thank you for wanting to take in this word, this medicine just for life and how we speak, because as we said before, there can be life in the tongue and the way we speak, but there can also be the opposite of that. But we're striving for life, and that everything we say is gracious and uplifting, and above all, truthful. So, day 6. Kings take pleasure in honest lips. They value a man who speaks the truth. The quiet words of the wise are more to be heeded than the shouts of a ruler of fools. He who loves a pure heart and whose speech is gracious will have the king for his friend. And then I ask you to match the following phrases. So, kings takes pleasure in honest lips, that either the shouts of a ruler of fools, or will have the king for a friend, or they value a man who speaks. They value the man who speaks the truth. So you match those, but you need the workbook to be able to do those, right? So go ahead and get it today. Day 9. Starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam. So drop the matter before a dispute breaks out. So starting a quarrel is compared to what? It says right there. Like breaching a dam. And just think for a moment, what happens when a dam is breached? You got a mess, right? So I'm going to give you an example. With my husband, it is easy for me to drop a matter when we disagree because he's usually right. But when my daughters were teenagers, I breached a few dams and allowed disputes to break out. And thank God for the prescription for forgiveness, because that's enabled us to repair the dam. And note, the prescription for speech and forgiveness work very well together. And those are the 2 different chapters here. So one of the saddest things to me is when someone goes to a person they have said or done something to, or in the world of social media, posted something that hurt someone, and they go and they'll ask for forgiveness. The words or actions were never from an evil intent, and the words seem to be taken out of perspective. The person says they can't forgive them. Ouch. And this may happen because of a place the other person is coming from. No, God will always forgive you. Just be sure you learn from the situation. Always listen to God, be in His Word, and let Him guide your words. Drop the matter after you ask for forgiveness. And if the friend wants to drop you, let it go. Pray and know God will not drop you. He's got you. He will guide you and keep the dam from breaking as you immerse yourself in His Word. Many times when we immerse ourselves in the troubles and trials of those around you and not in God's Word and in His ways, we run into trouble. So if you can think of a time you breached a dam because of your words, what did you do? What'd you do about it? Or is there something you need to do about it now? So I give you spaces here, write it out, Sometimes you may need a separate sheet of paper. You may need to write out pages full. I don't know. So just know that if forgiveness is in order and it's difficult for you, consider getting our prescription for forgiveness and working through it. That's in the Jesus Prescription for Life workbook. So have you ever thought about your tongue? One of the functions of the tongue is to move food around as we chew it, and another function is to articulate sounds when we speak. The sounds we make are determined by where we put our tongue. Speech pathologists help people know where to place the tongue in order to speak correctly. Jesus, the great physician, helps us speak correctly. He will show us how to speak in an encouraging way, as well as to know how to speak truth in love. So we learned last week that speaking in an encouraging way is determined by where our hearts are. Day 10. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. And I ask you to please just read James chapter 3. And we're told that tongue is a small part of the body. And would you agree? I mean, my hand's bigger. I don't know, my eyeball's bigger. My toe is maybe the same size. I don't know. But what does this chapter say the tongue does? So go over, read chapter 3. And what does it say it does? And if you can give some examples of what the tongue might boast about, put those down. So that's your little work for the week. And like I said, again, there'll be a time when maybe we can all do this together. You can sign up, and I'll have to get that ready. I just want you to really concentrate on those things today and think about the tongue, the way we talk, the forgiveness. And then I'll also get into in the book of John where Jesus spoke some things and people just believed it and did it. I'm really excited for that next podcast too, because we are a lot like the people I'm going to be talking about. Enjoy your day. Stay healthy. Speak encouragement, truth, and in love.
Thank you for joining in today. Sometimes allowing God to change our heart and minds in difficult situations is not always easy. It does allow us to think differently about a situation, and that in turn may help us act differently in that situation in a positive way. Remember, our mission statement here is to lead you first and foremost to the great physician for all of life's circumstances through his word. We do not deny that physical medication plays a part while we're on this earth. Anything you have heard from me or any of my guests is not intended to replace any medical advice you're receiving. Always check with your doctor before starting or stopping any medication or making any changes to your regimen. Just make sure, though, that you know you can add spiritual medication to any regimen. And don't be surprised if that spiritual medication heals you in ways you never imagined, because all things are possible with God. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with others and leave me a review. I would really appreciate it. I know the more of this medication that we can dispense into this world, the better off we'll all be. So until next time, stay healthy and stay in God's Word.